What if Christian Petracca leaves the Demons? It kind of, for years, has sounded unthinkable. The Norm Smith medalist, a dual All-Australian, up until a couple of years ago, where it looked like he was leaving last year. He's a midfielder that can win the ball at the source, drive it forward, turn the game on himself, scoreboard pressure and magnet. He was a big part of the 2021 flag. But in recent years, Melbourne are in turmoil. The departure of Goodwin, whispers of discontent, will not leave. Their list balance is questionable. And suddenly, Petracca looks like he could be on his way out. So the question we're looking at today, what would Christian Petracca cost? What would he bring? Which club makes sense? Teams are already in the mix. Carlton, Collingwood, Hawthorn. You've got the South Australians, Adelaide, Port, and even Sydney. And if the D's pull the trigger, what could they do with the whole? Let's get into it. Since 2021, Melbourne haven't been good. That's got to be said. They won the flag. They've already been solid for ages in the home and away seasons. It's the finals that have ended in heartbreak. And more recently, it looks off. Issues with Oliver, discontent rumours, off-field stuff, Goodwin sacked. Petracca was huge about leaving last year, and this year it looks like it may happen. The attack at the minute looks brittle, and a reset looks like it's coming under the way under Kingy. But Petracca is that rare piece in the AFL. A goal-a-game midfielder. They're the rarest, as we covered last year, to find in the draft. He could turn a side who are outside the 8 into a contender overnight. Now, what would it cost? He ain't getting any younger. He is definitely star power. 27 touches, 6 clearances, a goal of game. He is a top player. Top 10 for score involvements, top 10s for contested possessions. He's a proven finals performer. He's a match winner, a former Norm Smith medalist. They ain't going to give him away. I reckon a realistic starting point for him is roughly what a first would be. So in the AFL terms, that's 2 firsts, maybe a future and a current, with a second round coming back and maybe a third to clean it up. It's not going to be a high premium, but it's going to be one of them deals that could do it. And this is one of them deals that we're starting to see in the AFL that good teams do. So let's look at the teams, the contenders. We're going to go with my team first. The stoppage to score cheat code. When you've got a midfield like Carlton's, Cripps and Hewitt, they win clearances for fun. But the data doesn't lie. Mid-table from scores from stoppage to fight top 4 clearances. They win it. They do sweet FA with it. This is Petracca's cheat code. His clearances always translate into inside 50s. He's a league's prototype goal-kicking stoppage to score midfielder, and can rest across half forward, dragging a genuine defender, freeing up players. His contested marking adds another mean. He is one of them players that can change the game. He instantly makes Carlton's stoppage dominance suddenly become scoreboard heavy. Carlton could probably afford this as well. They're going to have a handful of compensation picks. They've got Harry Dean in the bag this year. This could be one of them deals for the Blues that really changes the narrative and something that the Blues desperately lack. But is it the right move? Time will tell. And ultimately, I can't see the Blues going for it. Collingwood is the other one. Dusty 2.0 in a super side. Nick Dacos dominates the territory. DeGoey bursts forward out of power. You've got Josh and co taking the piss. This is where, though, he can change it. If Collingwood split him 70-30, he's easily a 35-plus goal kicker from the midfield. 20% of his possessions become inside 50 arcs, becoming both a clearance machine and a scoring option. He would be one of the hardest matchups for an ever-rotating midfield. He's too agile for a tall, he's too powerful for a small. For a team like Collingwood that has a mass array of ball-using talent, having the je ne sais quoi would be absolutely immense, and someone that would literally be a huge upgrade on what they've already got. This would be a fascinating piece. Hawthorn are looking for an A-grade accelerator. Newcomb, Day, they've got some really solid young players in Watson up forward. They've got a real strong midfield core, but they're still a bottom 4 contested differential side and bottom 6 for stoppage scores. Petracca is no doubt what they're looking for. They're looking for that A-grade midfielder that is only going to make them sexier. Newcombe wins the ball for fun. Day is on the outside. Add Petracca, A-O-A. This guy could be ridiculous. Imagine the supply going forward and imagine that point of difference in the midfield breaking open games. He would be literally a game changer for Hawthorn. And if he signed for Hawthorn, I'd be willing to say Hawthorn top 4, lock in finals, lock in a flag in the next 24 months, which I'm already close to doing anyway. Adelaide Crows. This is the missing link for them for me. They were top 5 for inside 50 entries in 2025, but mid-table for scores per entry. Rankine, Rochelle, Rankine in that mix with Peatling and Dawson. This isn't about maximising territory. This is Petraccaville. Clearance to score profiles. He'd boost Adelaide's efficiency. His ability to mark around the ground, kicking towards Thilthorpe. And Fogarty, most importantly, he spreads the load. You can't double team Dawson anymore. You can't just put a man on Rankine. Petracca would be an absolute zonal nightmare in the way their midfield plays. This would be a huge one and would really complement what Adelaide are doing. Does he fancy a challenge at Port Adelaide? They have some massive weapons in young Butters and Rosie and Horne-Francis. Horne-Francis is probably the prototype that Petracca started. Imagine him when their clearance chains go. At the minute, it really stalls. Their stoppage is collapsing. Petracca brings that big game scoring. He rests forward. He's genuinely a 2-goal option a game, taking heat off Mitch and co. Struggling, he's a finals hammer, but a contested mid who wins territory and changes the game off his own boot. At Port, he could turn this team in its rebuild to build around a real modern-day, hard-hitting, goal-kicking midfield. If Petracca can impact Butters in some way as well, and he adds goal-kicking to his game, they would be very good. Sydney are the really interesting one. Sydney are a great side. They're already a real elite spreading side. Territory efficiency, but one marginal gain is their midfield goals and final stoppage power. You add 25 goals from midfield and him working off the likes of Warner and co. This could be amazing. His clearance to score profile scales up. Combine that with Heaney. We know everyone talks about there's no forwards there. The goals in the midfield, no one can cover it. You would have to play a tagger against Sydney, which is effectively taking a midfield out of it. This isn't about fixing a big weakness of Sydney. This would be making their weapon even more deadly because they do have a strong thing. You look at Sydney, injuries have been an issue, but when they're fully fit and with the right little movements here, Sydney could literally jump up 6 spots and be back in finals. But what would Melbourne do? Right? It's clear. You've still got Oliver and Viney. That connection is fine. You've got Pickett up forward. That's really good. Now with these picks, if they got some good picks in, there is some players around there that could be good. Now I look at Harvey Langford as a player that could potentially, in the long term, be as good, if not greater, than Petracca. But with the players they could get in, they could really look at players like Ollie Greaves to have another bit of a physicality and a little bit of a contest in there. They could even maybe look at forwards, Sherbert and players like that would genuinely make Melbourne more well-rounded. I think it's really important to look at this because when you look at Petracca, he's going to be a big change. He's a 27-plus disposal player, 6 clearances, inside 50s galore, and over a goal a game. We said it again, top 10 for scoring involvements. He changes games across multiple levers, contest, territory, scoreboard, the DNA of modern-day football. Now, yes, he's pushing towards the end of his prime, but he's still got 3 years left of this prime. He's no spring chicken. He's going to hit them 30s, but this is where it takes off cap pressure off Melbourne, and it also gives them picks and allows them to enter this rebuild, which they desperately need to do to play the modern day. But then this really opens up players that are looking for it, and all the teams we've listed at the minute are desperate for that little bit of je ne sais quoi. So who should go the hardest? Do you think it should be Carlton? They desperately need that stoppage to score cheat code. Collingwood would love a superstar to go in a super team. Hawthorn, adding that je ne sais quoi to their very delicious midfield. Adelaide, It makes their strength stronger. Port Adelaide, it's another superstar, which they probably lack in that midfield. Sydney, it would be that real go gadget type midfield, wouldn't it? It would be hard, and you can see the way Dean Cox wants to play. He loves goals. So who do you think should go hardest for Petracca? Should Carlton pay the price, turn clearance wins into scoreboard pressure? Collingwood add another superstar. Hawthorn, jumpstart and really smack in the flag window. Adelaide sorts out their entries to score ratio. Port, the superstar comes, they snag someone from Victoria to already go with the beautiful Rosie, Jason Horne-Francis and Butters. Or Sydney, do they make a midfield even more score heavy? Drop your thoughts in the comments. What's the right move? And if you're new, hit the like and subscribe. Plenty of off-season content as it shapes up into one of the more chaotic ones we've covered. Goodbye.
Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.